Hey guys, what's up? I get asked this question a lot about people who are in school. What do you do when you hate reading and you have tons of assignments to do, special reading chapters and stuff like that, and you try not to wait to the last minute to cram everything because you guys know me, I'm a very lazy guy. I like waiting to the last minute to do things. But recently, I found something that helped me overcome years of procrastinating, and I mentioned that in different videos, but like every time it evolves and it gets better and better and better. Because I refuse to just back down and say, you know what, that's just me. I'm just gonna keep cramming every night before the test. So I was looking for new ways to just cover every chapter without having to spend a long time reading because I hate reading. I'm a visual learner. I like seeing and hearing. And this thing that I do is pretty much like I grab a book, right? Let's say you have to read chapter one in college by by next week. Usually when you go to school they give you like a syllabus so you know what you have to read by a certain date. So I have to read chapter one for like four different books, right? So I have this application that I made on Excel where I put the beginning page and the ending page, and it calculates about how much time I'm gonna need to finish that chapter. I kind of like went to Excel and play with the numbers. Like let's say I spend 5 minutes on each page, for to kind of have enough time to understand the text. So 5 minutes times the number of pages that I'm going to be reading, gives me an estimate of how much time I'm going to spend on the book. So let's say I pick book one, and it gives me, okay, chapter one from page 20 to page 50, right? So that's 30 pages, 30 to 31 pages. So I put that in application, it tells me, well, you're going to need this amount of time. Now let's say I need 90 minutes to finish a chapter. I look at that program, I'm like, okay, because I like looking at the big picture before I do anything. I like knowing how long I'm going to spend on something so I could, organize into my schedule. So I think, okay, 1 hour, 90 minutes, I'm not going to spend 90 minutes reading a fucking book. It's not going to happen. My mind's going to float off somewhere else. So what I do is I tell myself, well, what's the longest I could read without getting bored? Me, it's 10 minutes. You it could be a different number, but let's say it's 10 minutes. So what I do is really simple. I do 90 minutes, which is the amount of time I need to read the book, and I divide that by 10. So it tells me that if I read that book for 10 minutes, 9 times a day, I'm going to reach my goal of 90 minutes to finish the chapter. So you could try that with whatever other book you're reading. If it's going to take you 60 minutes, and you can only read for 5 minutes at most without getting distracted, you could do 60 divided by 5, get you a number. But anyway, so let's say for example 90 minutes is needed, and I can only read for 10 minutes without getting bored. So that's going to be 9 times I'm going to read that book throughout the day. Or I could just do it throughout the week. If you have a week to prepare it, then you could even spread out the sessions in so many more segments. So what I do is I go to my daily routine that I have here. You guys know I follow this thing every day. I make copies and I have all these little things. But anyway, so I look in the back, right? And I put these little squares. Every day I put these little squares. Each box represents the hour. From 11 to 12, or I break it up in 30-minute segments because I always tell people if you can't manage an hour, you cannot manage your life. Because if you can't manage an hour, you can't manage your day. You can't manage your day, then you can't manage your week, your month, your year, your entire life. So you got to break things down in small portions, divide and conquer. So I divide every hour. Sometimes it's even hard to manage 1 hour because you get distracted. So I break up every hour into 30-minute, boxes, 11 to 11:30, 11:30 to 12. So I have all these boxes all the way up until the time I have to go to bed, and I can easily plug in my activities for the day. If I don't have to go to the gym, then I plug it here. If I have class, I plug it here. If I have work, I plug it here. And in the empty boxes, that's when I have free time. I don't just go on YouTube and do whatever the fuck I want. I plug in activities. Like for that book, let's say I have to read it 9 times for 10 minutes each. I just put like the circles. I don't know if you can see the circles that I put everywhere. It's from 11 to 11:30. I tell myself, okay, spend 10 minutes each block of 30 minutes. Spend at least 10 minutes reading that book. So from 11 to 11:30, I'm just gonna spend 10 minutes reading the book, then I fucking close it. From 12, to 12:30, same thing. And next, at the end of the day, I finished the whole chapter without even realizing it. Instead of feeling like an hour or 90 minutes, it felt like 10 minutes because you're only reading for 10 minutes at a time, once each hour or twice each hour, depending on how much you have to read. And at the end of the day, I'm done with chapter one. Then I go on to the next book, chapter two. Oh, that one is due next week. Okay, fine. I have, let's say it takes me an hour to read chapter two, 60 minutes, and I can only read 10 minutes at a time. So that's 6 times I have to read 10-minute portions. I do the same thing. I plug it in my empty boxes, and boom, I destroy the whole chapter. It's a really, really neat way to get a lot of work done without it feeling like a lot of work. You got to divide and conquer, especially if you like me and you have like fucking ADD and shit. You can't focus on one thing. So hope that helps, Tim.